Similar to how the Winchester and Colt firearms became legendary in the post-Civil War period, a distinct type of rifle defined the fur trading age. Early Western pioneers and fur trappers relied heavily on their firearms for both hunting and protection. While historical records rarely specify the manufacturers of these early weapons, historical evidence shows that these frontiersmen initially preferred the refined flintlocks crafted in the East. The typical choices included the elegant Kentucky long rifle, spanning 44 to 46 inches, featuring brass fittings and sleek maple wood stocks with .40 to .45 caliber bores, alongside the more robust Southern or Tennessee models. These alternative versions, often crafted with walnut and minimal decoration or iron mountings, typically ranged from .45 to .50 caliber. However, these hunters soon realized that such modest calibers proved insufficient for the massive game they encountered in Western territories, particularly when shooting across the vast distances common in mountain and prairie environments. This led to evolutionary modifications. Rifles were shortened, reinforced with sturdier stocks, equipped with more durable locks, and either received larger bore barrels or were completely refitted with shorter, more substantial barrels exceeding .50 caliber. As the Western fur trade expanded, St. Louis emerged as the primary departure point for merchants venturing beyond the Missouri River, establishing itself as the commercial heart of frontier operations. The city attracted numerous skilled gunsmiths who flourished by servicing the Native American trade and adapting Eastern firearms for the demanding mountain environment. Among these craftsmen, Jacob "Jake" Hawken established his presence in St. Louis during 1807, launching his independent gunsmith operation on Main Street by 1815. Within 4 years, he formed a partnership with craftsman James Lakeinen. Following Lakenen's passing in 1825, Jake's brother Samuel joined the enterprise, forming the J&S Hawken partnership that would continue for nearly 2.5 decades. Their enterprise's launch proved fortuitous, aligning with the emergence of the Santa Fe commerce and the establishment of major trading enterprises, including the Ashley and Henry, Rocky Mountain, and American Fur Companies. The brothers initially focused on customizing clients' existing rifles, modifying traditional long rifles to withstand the rigors of Western exploration. Their operation evolved to produce distinctive heavy-duty rifles for both major trading companies and independent trappers. While their firearms, commonly called Hawkens in period documents, weren't necessarily superior to contemporary alternatives, their consistency, durability, and reliability earned them recognition as premium mountain rifles. These weapons became the preferred choice among legendary frontiersmen such as Christopher Kit Carson, Jim Bridger, James P. Beckworth, Jedediah Smith, Hugh Glass, and numerous other mountain men, scouts, and traders who shaped the early American West. Historical evidence suggests the initial Hawken rifles featured flintlock mechanisms and full-length stocks, though definitive authentication remains challenging due to the absence of maker's marks. While debate exists regarding Hawken's production of flintlock weapons, firearms historians generally concur that substantial numbers were manufactured, supported by documented purchases from major fur trading enterprises during the 1820s. The scarcity of surviving examples can be attributed to their intensive use in harsh conditions and their early period of service. A recent discovery has generated interest. A heavy mountain rifle, modified from flintlock to percussion, bears J. P. Beckworth's authenticated signature beneath its barrel and displays characteristics consistent with early Hawken craftsmanship. This finding carries particular significance, given Beckworth's documented preference for Hawken firearms from their earliest production period. The transition to percussion rifle production likely occurred in the late 1830s, after which Hawken's design features became largely standardized, with occasional modifications for specific customer requests. Following Jake Hawken's death from cholera in 1849, Samuel assumed control of operations, marking his firearms with S. Hawken St. Louis, though reportedly maintaining the J and S markings on lock plates and barrels briefly after his brother's passing. Samuel continued operations until 1862, when he transferred ownership to his employee John P. Gemmer, who subsequently branded his Hawken-style firearms with his own distinctive markings. Surviving authentic Hawken rifles predominantly date from the post-1840 era through the 1860s, primarily serving in plains operations after the mountain fur trade's decline. During their peak, the Hawken brothers pioneered the development of muzzle loaders specifically engineered for effective long-range hunting of western big game. Following the beaver market's collapse in 1840, marked by the final western rendezvous, the Hawken rifle found popularity among a new generation of frontier enthusiasts. The later S. Hawken firearms, along with similar models from other St. Louis craftsmen, maintained Jacob's fundamental design principles while adapting to evolving needs. These weapons found widespread adoption among frontier professionals, guides, hunters, scouts, and pioneers who shaped the expanding western territories. The designation shifted to plains rifles, reflecting their primary use during the westward migration of the 1850s to 70s. Both settlers and Native Americans sought these weapons for their proven long-range capability and remarkable power, qualities that had established their reputation in the Rocky Mountains. The Hawken maintained its popularity even after the introduction of metallic cartridge firearms like the 5070 Allen Springfield conversion and the Sharps. Now, marking its bicentennial, the Hawken rifle, renowned as the mountain rifle, continues to captivate modern muzzle-loading enthusiasts and sportsmen, who embrace both historically accurate reproductions and contemporary interpretations. This enduring legacy recently prompted Missouri to designate the Hawken as its official state rifle. The weapon remains inextricably linked to the iconic image of the mountain man, a resilient figure in buckskin and fur, traversing the high country with his trusted Hawken rifle, embodying the spirit of American frontier exploration. The standard Hawken rifle featured distinctive characteristics: a substantial octagonal barrel measuring approximately 11/8 inches across its flats, extending 34 to 36 inches in length. The browned barrel attached to the stock through a dual-key system. These weapons typically featured a .53 caliber bore, firing 32 rounds per pound, or larger. The rifle utilized exclusively iron components for its hardware and fittings. Moving away from earlier full-length designs, it employed a half-stock crafted from darkened maple or walnut, distinguished by a prominent left-side cheek piece and robust grip area. An underrib extended from stock to muzzle, supporting the ramrod mounting ferrules. Unlike ornate Pennsylvania long rifles, these weapons maintained a utilitarian appearance, eschewing decorative elements like patchboxes or inlays. Notable features included a crescent-shaped butt plate, patent breech mechanism, and specialized double-set trigger system housed within a distinctive guard featuring a curved tang extension. The sighting system consisted of traditional buckhorn-style open sights. Some specimens bear maker's marks reading J and S. Hawken or S. Hawken Street Lewis on the barrel or lock plate, though not all carried these markings. These substantial firearms typically weighed between 10.5 and 12 pounds,